Okay. Hi, John. Thanks so much for joining us. It's so great to have you here.
Thanks, Alex. I'm so happy to be here. I always enjoy talking to you.
I am really excited for our chat today because, well, obviously you're a good friend, but also every time we chat, it's just a really uplifting conversation, and I really just enjoy our talks. So, yeah, I'm so excited that you were able to join us today for a little bit of your time. And everybody, this is John. He's back with us, or sorry, I guess the first time that you're on our show, the first time
Right,
that we
yeah, I
chatted,
interviewed you first.
yeah, I was a guest on your podcast, and so now we kind of switched. So thanks so much for being here, and I want to just chat with you a little bit and have you share your journey, if that's okay with you. A little bit about this new project that you're working on, Project U, which is coming out on January 8th. And
Right.
could you tell us a little bit about that and just share your journey?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a master class on the 8th, and just free, just like a preview. Um, the journey, it's been very interesting. It just kind of it's organically just grown out of nothing. I started out. I actually posted today that I had two choices when I started. One was to like just pound out my course and just stress and fill out everything. And I started going down that road. And and it was started out like it was like self-talk and all that was going to be my course. Well, the very first one was like how to play and get over procrastination and
Mm.
everything. And it's kind of funny because a lot of times what your course, well, for me, what my course was going to be was things that I needed, like
I
to get
love
over
that.
procrastination and the self-talk thing, right? And um, and that's what I found in this whole process too, is that it's forcing you to build your own house. And what I mean by that is to work through your demons and the things that you need so that you can teach them to someone else. It's not like you have the answers. It's just like it presents itself and you have to work through your struggles. And then you end up showing other people like, oh, here, let me grab your hand. This is what I had to do. And yes, you're going to hit the wall and you're going to feel like, no, I can't do this. And you're going to like tear yourself up because you're trying to pound out your course and you're like, I can't do this. I don't have a dot. I don't have this, and just stress out and everything else. And and that was the road I started going down. And it's not like I haven't gone had the stress, but it started when I had a challenge presented for me, and I said I was going to make a video a day, and that started the whole thing. And I keep saying that it was huge. I had no idea, and I started out like if you, which I haven't seen my first videos, and I should go back. I and it's kind of funny as I go along, I run into problems and roadblocks, and so like I just realized when I'm trying to share stuff that I need to get my videos in some kind of file in some kind of order so I can share them. Because when I've asked for, oh, I can't find this video, where is it? So I'll have to put my videos in order. And like when I look at the first ones, and I remember doing them, I'm all like, oh, this is John taking uncomfortable action. Just looking, I just grabbed the phone and just did it. And the whole it evolved that I would just do it and throw it up on the site. And the reason I did that was it wasn't like it was because I didn't want to look at it, because if I knew if I looked at it I'd go, oh my God, I'm not putting it up. I'm going to delete it. I can't put this one up. It's not perfect.
Yeah, you start doubting yourself for sure.
Exactly. So I didn't give myself that option because I knew that would happen. I knew I would
Mhm.
be like, nope, nope, let's do some more. And let's learn how to edit it, and let's learn how to have thumbnails. And I almost did that too. And then I was just, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I just kept doing it. I would shoot it and load it, shoot it and load it, and not even look at it. And then it got a little easier. And plus, I think well, I've said this, is I wasn't like really on Facebook, so I'm like, no one looks at my stuff. I don't post. Once in a while I might comment on something. I'm all, this is just going out to the ether. Nothing, it's not going anywhere. No one sees it. Yeah, and then like, I don't know, it was like a couple weeks or a month or something later, I had people at work go, "Hey, I see your videos. I like them." I'm like, oh, but those I could live through. Those were just kind of embarrassing moments. It wasn't until I got the email like, "Hey Johnny, you okay?" And then that's when I had to take a little break because it was like, oh, and it's like people are seeing these things. Well, so that was like my first hurdle I had to overcome because I didn't overcome that at the very beginning because I just figured, oh, no one sees this, it's just I'll just do it. I'll look stupid. No one's ever going to see it. And so then it evolved from there. And then my message started changing. And it was about, how you talk to yourself. And I realized that no one's going to talk to me worse than I talk to myself. So if I raise the level that I talk to a higher level that I talk to myself, that I would raise the level of what I would allow other people to talk to me, how I would allow them to talk to me. And I started seeing that. And also it made me appreciate that when I became aware of my self-talk, I could become aware that the way other people were talking and criticizing, that was just a glimpse of their self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. Then theirs was probably worse because we tend to talk to ourselves worse than we would to someone else. So
Mm-hmm.
if they're kind of mean and kind of critical and stuff to other people, boy, it made me go, wow, they must really be critical to themselves. So it gave me that awareness, and it, that was one. So those hurdles, and I met two really good people from. I put out on Mastermind like, hey, anybody want to like monitor their self-talk? And a couple people, said they would. And I ended up, two of them were Andy and Natasha, which are like great friends of mine, and we've become really close. And so that happened from there. And then my next hurdle was, I'm not a coach. I kept hearing people say they're coaches, and I'd kind of like, okay, I'll confess. I kind of rolled my eyes because everyone was a coach, and I'm going, all right, I'm not a coach. And then all of a sudden, like, realize, damn, I've been a coach all along. I like to encourage people and coach people and draw them out. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm all, then so I had to jump that hurdle that, oh, I'm a coach.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm a coach. Oh, wow. So I had to become like, I can coach people because that's what I've done my whole life when I
Mm-hmm.
thought about it. And because I've always been able to like see the value in people and how their talent is, even though I mean I could just look and see and be all, oh, that person's really got, and draw it out. And I'm all, wow, okay, so I've done that. That's who I am basically. And then the next hurdle is like, well, will people pay for this? Do I have value?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a hurdle too. So that's what I'm saying. You have to build your own house because everyone goes through, maybe they're not the same hurdles, but they go through these challenges of self-doubt and, can I do this? And plus it's changing your comfort zone because it's so easy to just like go to work, come home and do your little thing, watch some Netflix. And this pushes you to you have to extend yourself and put yourself out there. And it has a lot of, you put out a lot of energy, but you get energy back. But it's not like your norm. Sometimes it's like I just want to sit on the couch and do, you know what I mean? It's like I just want to chill. but but it's you're setting a new norm, and I'm finding that there is importance of like maybe of like scheduling time to do this, and then scheduling time for like me time
For
because
sure.
you need that time because you can't always be giving all that, but so yeah, the journey's morphed, and so then the whole thing it started turning into Project U as I was going along, and because I was the project, and I did, and in fact, when I sent you that YouTube, the one guy, and I really like him. He basically said, "You're the project." So the project's always been you. It's you. It's not what you're doing, because this is a lifelong thing from the day you were born, basically. And and really, that's true. And the whole thing morphed into, like, that when we were, I believe that when we were in heaven, we were all connected and part of all that energy, and we came here and we forgot, but we didn't forget, because our subconscious or some part of us is always screaming like you're meant to be more. And that's what drives people to that voice. It drives some people, can't stand it, and they try to numb it out through addictions or whatever, because they know deep down that they're not being who they're meant to be. And it's really hard. It's because that voice is screaming out, no, you're so much more, you're so much more, remember, it's trying to, like, wake you up.
Yeah.
And
There's something that
and,
on that topic, there's something that Raf Garay says that really stood out to me. And he talks about the dark room. And he tells a story of being in a really, really dark place in his life where there was literally, it seemed like no way out. And this is what he calls
right,
the dark room. And he says, in that dark room is where you find your greatness, when there's literally no way out. And it's like the only way out is up.
right.
And that's where you find your greatness. So I love that. And when you say that, what you're giving back to people now through this project is really just what you needed, as a past version of you, like, share a little bit about that. Like, what are some of those things?
Well, so, like, the self-talk, so things have happened in my life, like earlier in my life, and like my late 20s. I went through a divorce and I had kids, and that was really hard. um and those those times, they make you into who you are, but you have to learn. There's choices in your life, things happen to people in their lives, and you have to learn. Well, see, at one point I found out not everyone thinks like me. That I'm all, really, people think differently? I'm all, everyone doesn't think like that? Because I can tend to, and I think it's almost like wanting to control a situation. So I'll make up a story like I know all the answers, like, oh, they did this because of this, and that happened, and oh, so they're thinking this and this and this. Like, I know I can control it because I know all the answers. And I found out that that's not true. Not everyone thinks like that. And I think it comes out of maybe a chaotic childhood where you're like, come home and you don't know what you're coming home to, and so you're thinking, oh, well, maybe they're mad because this happened, so I'll stay out of their way, or you're trying to always judge what's going on.
Yeah.
um and and so I realized that I had to control and what the things I said to myself, because, I mean, if you think about it, like I said, and I'm trying to find where I got that from, that, and basically, that you got a little monkey brain, and it's like Google, and it's a search engine, and it's really weird if you think in terms of the internet. It makes sense, because the internet probably is just a basic copy of us. Nothing's really new. Man just creates copies of things, kind of, and the internet goes out, Google goes out and it searches and has an algorithm, and it starts whatever you tell it to search for, it finds. Like I said, if you say, find me sad pictures, it will. If you say, find me happy pictures and the images, you'll have all kinds of, from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And your brain's way more powerful than that, and it has the reticular activating system, because if you think about it, you have to filter. There's so much going on that you have to filter things out. and so it filters out like a bunch, most things except what you want it to see, and then it finds it for you. So if you tell that little voice, a little monkey, and I always pictured a little monkey that just is like bouncing all around, like so happy to run out and find whatever you ask it, like, and so happy that it brings it to you. And no matter, but it doesn't know if it's good or bad, right?
Yeah.
So then you tell it, oh, I feel sad. Oh, people don't like me. People talk about me. And then your little Google monkey, and it's not just the internet, it's like the whole universe and every conversation you have and every little thing. Well, here's like when it like would totally, okay, picture this. So like if, or well, when people are single or whatever, and you meet somebody new, right? And then you're like, oh, they don't like me. They look to the left. Oh, I said something. They kind of frown. You know what I mean? Or it's just, that's like what really magnifies. But all in life, you're you're looking, whatever you tell your monkey to look for, it's gonna find. Like you're like, if people always, you think people always talk about you bad or whatever, well then it's gonna show you. And even if it's not true, because if two different people have different outlets,
Yeah.
or different thoughts, they'll get different outcomes because they're monkeys. And so that's when I learned that I need to really monitor my self-talk, and that,
Yeah.
oh, I can control what I think. It doesn't control me. And that's a huge thing. And then and then through the videos that got me through the what are people going to say, because when you start this, that's huge. In fact, you want to kind of hide it sometimes. You're like, I don't want anybody to know I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell them when, like, they'll know when I'm rich and famous or something, and that's not happening overnight. And especially if you're, and I tell some of the people, it's like, if you have a private group, that's great, but at some point you want the world to know about you. Well, no one, if they're not in your private group, they're not going to know about you, and no one outside of that private group can see your stuff, because when they go to hit the link, it says this group's private. So it's like you got to put it out there.
Yeah,
So that was
absolutely.
another hurdle.
Yeah.
And
And to what you were saying, yeah, like it amazes me how different people can have completely different experiences of the same thing just based on what you're telling yourself, or what your mind is saying to you. But again, like having that, I think it's a discipline really of saying, okay, like I'm in control of my own thoughts and I'm in control of my mind. My mind does not control me.
right,
Because how, like, two people can have such a drastically different experience where one sees the world as bad and everyone out to get me, everyone, bashing on me, and someone else just thinks that everyone is helpful. And
right,
how, like, those two people will have completely different experiences just based off of that one thought alone. Because
exactly,
yeah, like how you, even just think about it, how you would approach a social situation if when you come into it, your thoughts or your story is everyone treats me bad, or everyone is always helpful and everyone is kind and gentle. How you
right.
would approach the situation is going to be very, very different, just based off of what you've been telling yourself for years. So yeah, 100%.
That's huge. And your energy that you would put off in that situation would kind of generate towards whatever story you were telling.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
And so, sorry, yeah, I think that applies as well to what you're saying, how you're showing up um, online, if that's the case for you, whoever's listening to this. If you have a business that requires you to show up online, or a project that you're working on, and you're finding yourself being held back by the thoughts of, people are going to judge me, or people always judge me,
mhm,
of really looking at it from a different perspective, and almost kind of questioning your own thoughts and saying, is that really the truth? Like, where was this idea and when was this idea founded? Like, it
Right.
might have been something that you picked up in childhood and isn't serving you anymore, and now it's time to change that belief. And we can choose to change our beliefs for sure.
Right.
And so yeah, if that's something that's holding you back, you do have the power to change it for sure. And
Right.
and decide to think, that people are supportive of you, or even something that I've found to be helpful when creating content in my own situation was really narrowing down who I'm trying to help. And I find that to be especially helpful when creating content if you have the mental picture of even one person, and ideally one person is better. And like you said, going back to what you said, if you're trying to help the person that you were 2, 3, 4 years ago, that
Right. Right.
version of you, if you could go back in the past, what would you tell them? How would you help them? Or what would you want to, if you could have a conversation, Dean Graziosi always says, if you could have a conversation with your 18-year-old self, what would you tell them to be true, and what would you want to teach them? And so just
Right.
approaching it from that angle, and saying, I maybe couldn't help myself back then, but I can help someone who is that old version of me now, and what would I like to give to them?
Right. And I've thought about that, and what it is, especially for younger people, is there's never the day when like, oh, when I get that age, then I'll be all together. No, and and everyone, and what I've really seen it in this mastermind in the family is that everyone struggles with the same stuff. Doesn't matter what mask they put on, how confident they look, they all struggle with the same. And everyone started with zero.
Mhm.
Even all the big YouTubers, no matter if they were famous first or not, but guess what? They weren't born famous.
Mhm.
So you can't use that excuse, oh, they got a huge podcast because it's Joe Rogan or whatever. Well, guess what? Joe Rogan was born Joe Rogan with nothing. He was a little baby,
Mhm.
came in with a blank slate. He did, everyone started the same exact way. And
Yeah.
like I've been saying, that the mountain in front of you is you. You're what, and if the younger you can figure that out, the only thing that's stopping you is you, and how you speak to yourself, how you treat yourself, what your
Mhm.
confidence is,
Mhm.
and and you're the only block. And the other thing that's really been coming out lately is that ask, seek, and knock.
Mhm.
And I've always seen that verse, and the other one's a verse too. It says, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you could tell this mountain to move from there here to there, and it would, and nothing would be impossible for you. And I always thought, wow, I can move a mountain. I'm all, ooh, that would be cool, a whole mountain. And
Mhm.
then one day I'm all like, no, that's not it. It's saying, and it's not saying plant. It says the faith of a mustard seed, which is meaning just because it's little. So just if you have a little faith in you, you can tell you to get the heck out of your way, and nothing will be impossible for you. Well, oh my God, that's it. Thank you. And then the ask, seek, knock. I would I made videos of them all. It's not sit, wish, and wait. It's like ask, it's seek, and knock. Take action. You ask for something, then you seek it, and you're taking action, seeking it. Then you knock on doors, you meet people,
Mhm.
and then what I'm seeing, because this is what's been going on in this journey, is I ask for things and I start seeking them, I start knocking. And then when the doors open and I meet new people, well, then new opportunities that I didn't even know,
Mhm.
that weren't even part of my journey before. I'm like, whoa. And then it made me ask new questions, and it made me seek new things, and it opened new doors. And it's this huge journey. And it's like I don't even know what's going on, and all these pieces start falling into place, and start meeting new people and getting new ideas and gathering more people, and there's like this whole huge snowball. And I mean, I'm asking questions I didn't even know existed before, and I'm seeking new things, and new doors are opening, it's just that those two things right there, I would tell a young person, if you grasp those two things, that you're the freaking mountain, get the hell out of your way, and start asking, and don't put yourself in a box and say this isn't in my area I want to go, and just ask and seek, and doors will open, and it will lead you places you never even knew that you would end up. And it's amazing, and you would and it's a fulfilling adventure. It's, and it's full of hope because you're curious, and new things open your eyes. You see new things and new opportunities, and they start unfolding in front of you, and you're just like amazed. But you can't do that if you're sitting at home wishing, going, Lord, I'm asking, I'm asking, I'm asking, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. No, you have to take the action. You have to start seeking and looking, and you have to start looking and knocking and saying yes to opportunities. That's true too. You can't be bashful and say no to opportunities. And that's what I was thinking too, is we talked briefly about people are going to have master classes and other things, and they're going to put them out there for free. And I started taking some, and then I started feeling like, oh, I don't want to be, I'm not going to, I know I'm not going to take their course, so I'm not going to take their free class because I don't want to waste their time.
Take advantage of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to take advantage of them. It's not right. I'm not going to get their course. And that would like really like close opportunity and doors and not have conversations. I did. I pushed myself, and I took some, ones that I wasn't going to take, and I learned tons in there. And I've made friends with those people, and we share ideas, and on my side, I thought I was like taking their knowledge, but all their knowledge is out there. That's the key. You want to share everything that you have for free, and then hold people by the hand if they want to pay for it. And don't hold back, because you're only holding yourself back. And so I took those classes, and then on the flip side, like, I'm going to do the class, and I want people to be there. And if you get the course, well, great, because I'm happy for you, because I want to lead you by the hand, because I know that it changed my life, and I want it to change yours. But if you don't, I still want to share what I've learned with you, and that can change your life too. And I don't have to be there all by myself like crickets, like, oh, no one's here. Okay, I'll just do it to the wall, and so we need to support each other, and know that we're there for each other, because we're all on this journey together. And it's, I mean, we've made great friendships and everything, and I'm so happy to meet you and other people, and it's been awesome.
But that's something that I really appreciate you. And even I remember one of the first conversations that we had together. You told me, Alex, if you have an opportunity come your way, if someone offers you something, invites you to something, take it. Like, take the opportunity when it comes your way. And that's something that I've really taken to heart since you told me that, because it's so true. Like, how many times do we deny ourselves the opportunities because we don't feel like we're ready, or, which goes back to really just like your self-worth. Like, you don't feel like you're good enough yet. And so you close the doors on yourself. You deny yourself of opportunities because you don't feel like you're ready. You don't feel like you're good enough. You don't feel like you're qualified enough in some way. And so, yeah, I've really taken that advice to heart that you gave me back in one of our early chats. And it's so true. Like, when an opportunity comes your way, when someone's inviting you to join something, and it's like an opportunity that won't easily present itself again, or someone's offering of their time, or offering you an hour of their time to, I mean, that's how this whole thing started, is because I saw one of your I think your very first podcast that you did with someone
Oh
else.
yeah,
Yeah, and I
with
reached
Bear,
out to you. Yeah, with
and I
Bear,
was so
I
happy.
reached out to
Yeah.
you, and that's it. All kind of went from there, um, but you know, you were gracious enough to say absolutely,
Oh, of
and
course.
then to invite me to your group where you guys meet every Saturday, and that's been huge for me, honestly, because just again
Oh,
having
oh, you've
that
been a
support.
blessing to us.
Well, thank you.
You don't
Yeah,
understand. You're a mover and shaker.
I appreciate that.
That's what, and all of us, and you know, definitely, surround yourself with people that are moving and shaking, and even if you're not really moving and shaking, if you surround yourself with people that are, you can't help but
Mhm.
start to resonate at the same frequency and move and shake and take action, and because everyone is, you can't just sit in the corner when everyone else is moving. Not if you stay connected, and that's the key, stay connected.
It's contagious for sure. Yeah,
It
the
is.
energy is contagious, and that can go either direction. If you're hanging out with people who don't have a lot of ambition or aspirations in life, or maybe that's not even the case, but they're just negative and kind
Right.
of hard to be around. The energy is definitely contagious.
It is.
Either direction for sure. So
Right.
but yeah, I think like taking an opportunity when it comes your way, even if it's someone offering an hour of their time to help coach you or mentor you or give you
Oh yeah.
some perspective, that's something that can be highly valuable. And also, like, yeah, we were saying earlier, like we wouldn't be here if it weren't for somebody else doing that for us. So
Right.
even if you think, oh well, I'm not gonna buy whatever he's selling or she's selling or whatever, like
That's
like
fine.
at the end of the day, like you are also giving value to that person for participating in their event, and whatever you're learning, like that's gonna serve you in some way as well.
Right. And like when I have that event, basically it comes down to, what I learned is make a video every day and post it, put it up, make a group. If you don't feel comfortable putting it, there'll be a group that's created that only those videos will go in, but at some point you will put them on your regular feeds and stuff. And the strange thing that was like the total I had no knowledge that would happen is that as you make the videos, you see yourself as a person, and it's different than looking at a picture. You actually see the real you, and your personality comes out, and you start finding that you like this stranger that you meet, and you see yourself as you would someone you just met, where you're like, oh, this person's got potential. I like this person. And when this person says, no, I can't do this, you go, no, I see it. You can do it. You got this. And that was really, it's really weird. It's almost like I'm calling it video therapy, but it is really strange because now you see yourself as a person. It's like I look at you, I see you as someone, like anything you have doubts or whatever, I see your potential. I'm all, no, Alex, that's not true, and coach you on, or anyone, as you know how it is with your friends. You're like, no, and they're like, no, I can't. No, you can do this. Let's get this going.
Yeah.
And and that's what I found with doing the videos. I'm all like, oh my God, I'm falling in love with this guy.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's like,
It gives you a lot more compassion for yourself and allows you to see yourself
exactly,
as
a
external.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
It's as an external, exactly. That put words to it. As someone external, someone that you like and that you encourage, not like, oh no, you know. And it's really, it's mind blowing, and it's been really cool, and it brings a lot of awareness, which has been awesome.
I
But
love it. John, I'm so
yeah.
excited for your program.
Oh, I'm
Project
waiting for
Lead.
yours too. And I'm
Thank
I'm
you.
here for this whole group. And it's getting huge momentum. I feel the energy in our whole group, everything, mastermind,
Love it.
everything. It's growing.
Any last thoughts or word of advice that you would like to share with us for someone who is just beginning their own journey?
Don't get stuck in perfect. Don't get stuck in your room all alone, answering the questions, pounding, trying to do your course all by yourself out of your head with no connection. Because if you do that hard journey, once it's done, you got to put it up on Mastermind and no one knows you. So go out there, form a network, get connected with people, meet new people, let the doors open, let the opportunities start seeking, let your course kind of find you, because what it will do, it will awaken that little part, that little piece of heaven that's in you that knows your greatness. And you'll start to become aware of that and your greatness, and those doors will start opening and the path will just open up, and you'll be like, I didn't even know this was my course, but deep down you knew all the time what it was.
I
So
love that. Ask, seek, and knock. And that is
yeah,
so true what you said. Like it's not ask once, get rejected, and then
right.
give up and
No,
sit on your couch.
no, it's not wish, wait, and
Yeah,
one, and whatever,
yeah. And
worry or whatever.
also going out and finding people and finding that community, like you said, your network, your mastermind support group, right? Which is
Right,
whether you're a part of mastermind or not when you watch this or listen to this audio, but finding that community that is your network, your support group, your mastermind family,
right,
um,
right,
and is, uplifting, supportive, and positive, and is going to be encouraging and compassionate to you in your journey. And you will be able to help each other so
right,
much
yeah.
in that journey for sure. So you don't have to do it alone. So
No, don't
don't
do
be
it alone.
discouraged in that. For sure.
No.
Well, John, I'm so grateful that you were able to join us today. And
Oh, thank you,
I can't
Alex.
wait to see what else you do. And
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see everything that you do too.
yeah, I will be here to cheer you on for sure. So thanks so much for joining us, John. We'll
All
chat
right.
soon.
Bye, Alex. Thank
Bye.
you.